Live, local, late breaking. This is Eyewitness News 4 at 5.
A mess in the North Valley after a building collapses.
A real large crack, and then just a huge puff of smoke.
Tonight, breaking news. Hear how it happened and how the employees got out of there without a scratch.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Mason. Carla Aragon will join us from the State Fair in just a moment. First, though, we do have breaking news. A building collapses in northwest Albuquerque. Live from the air, you can see the building's roof is down. Cranes already on the scene trying to do what they can to lift it back up and clear it away. Debris is all over the street. McCalla Medina live with the latest on this. Mac?
Well, John, it's like an aftermath of an earthquake. Take a look at the epicenter. You can see the debris all over Claremont Street, right in the middle, mixed with bits and pieces of concrete. Up there are bags of insulation. That's where the company that owned it was called, Garrity Insulation. And right over there are crews trying to clean up the mess, a scene that could have been so much worse. The roof came falling down around 3 o'clock this afternoon. The owner says it started with a crack and ended up in a big puff of smoke. The owner says after a forklift got away from one of his employees.
Hit the main beam, and then I ran out there to see what was going on, and I heard the roof cracking coming down, so I got everybody out.
All in all, very lucky no one was injured or killed. As you can see, there's tons of debris in the street. It was a significant collapse.
Remarkable, no one else was hurt. 3 people were inside. Here's another live look from the air. The damage still pretty significant. Cleanup happening right now. And what is remarkable, John, is that the owner of the insulation company says all of those bags of insulation, they're okay, they're all safe, they're all ready to go once they get the building cleaned up. Live in the North Valley, I'm McCalla Medina, Eyewitness News 4.
Close call, Mac. Thanks. We'll stay on the story. We'll have the latest coming up tonight at 6 right here on Eyewitness News 4.
The roof of a warehouse comes tumbling down in northwest Albuquerque. Here is the view from Chopper 4 soon after the building collapsed. Amazingly, no one was hurt. McCalla Medina is live at the scene with more on how it happened. Mac.
Tom, but it was a close call. 3 employees escaping when things began to crack, things began to tumble. Take a look at the damage over here. What is on the ground used to be the north wall of the building, now in the middle of the road. The roof started tumbling down just after 3 o'clock this afternoon. The owner of Garrity Insulation blames it on a runaway forklift. It got away from one of his employees, hit a support beam, and that's when things started to tumble down. It's over there.
Real large crack, and then just a huge puff of smoke.
Again, everybody got out without a scratch. Right now, cleanup effort is underway. We're told the damage, hundreds of thousands of dollars, about $250,000 in that building, is coming down, demolished by sometime tomorrow. The only thing salvageable, the insulation inside. It's all okay, and the owner says he plans to use it. Live in the North Valley, I'm McCalla Medina, Eyewitness News 4.
And he should use it. Thanks, Mac.
Is KOAT 7, Albuquerque. Now, bringing you coverage you can count on. This is Action 7 News.
It's almost unthinkable. New mothers literally throwing away their newborns. But it's reality, and it's happening around the country. Now, there's an effort to keep it from happening in New Mexico. Good evening, I'm Nelson Martinez.
And I'm Diane Anderson. We'll get to tonight's big story in just a moment, but first, breaking news.
We were the first station to show you the pictures when a roof collapsed in an insulation building. Our Nancy Laughlin is live at the scene of northwest Albuquerque with details of what happened. Nancy?
Well, Nelson, it is called Garrity Insulation, and it is amazing, firefighters say. A miracle that no one was hurt. I'm going to get out of the way and show you what I'm talking about. A lot of destruction out here. You can see the crews out here, heavy equipment brought in to clean this mess up. Firefighters say it could be until tomorrow morning before that happens, but let me show you some video to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about. Here's what firefighters and the building's owner tell me. Look at that, you guys. You can see they say that there were 3 employees inside the structure. One guy is on a forklift. He loses control of the forklift. You're looking at Sky 7 right there. He loses control of the forklift. It slams into a beam. And when that happens, they can see that the building is clearly unstable. The 3 employees who were inside, they get out, and that's when the building collapses. Firefighters told me at one point there was a natural gas leak, but crews quickly shut off the natural gas to this area. Again, amazing. All employees got out, no one's hurt, but it will take at least a day to clean this mess up. If you all can come back to us and look at this heavy equipment that they have out here, and it will be, again, until about tomorrow morning before they get this mess cleaned up. We're going to have more coming up at 6. Diana Nelson, back to you.
Thank you, Nancy. Certainly a miracle no one was hurt.
Yes.
Whoa.
It's KOAT 7, Albuquerque. Now, bringing you coverage you can count on. This is Action 7 News.
When the roof caves in, you get out. Our big story tonight, the evacuation of a Northwest Albuquerque business after a complete collapse of the roof. Good evening, I'm Marissa Mays.
And I'm Nelson Martinez. It happened in Northwest Albuquerque at Garrity Insulation. That's the 3100 block of 4th Street Northwest between Manal and Candelaria. There are no reported injuries. Unbelievable, but the pictures certainly are amazing. Action 7's Nancy Laughlin joins us now from the scene. Nancy.
Nelson, $250,000 in damage. A roof made of steel beams collapses, and it is a miracle that no one's hurt. I'm going to get out of the way and show you what's going on right behind me right now. I don't know if you can see that these guys are actually welding the building. They're pulling the beams apart because they're going to be demolishing this tomorrow. They say that that's what they have to do to get this mess cleaned up. There's insulation inside the building, and amazingly, the insulation's not damaged as well. So some good news there, and again, that no one was hurt. I want to show you some video. Take a look at these pictures. This is amazing stuff. You can see the destruction. Here's what firefighters tell me happened. They say 3 guys are inside, 3 employees. One guy has a forklift. He loses control of the forklift. It smashes into a beam. The building clearly is not stable. So the 3 employees managed to get out. About 10 minutes later, the building collapses. Folks who live and work nearby say they could see it and they could feel it. Listen to this.
Well, we were sitting at our desk doing our business, daily business, and the whole place shook. The ground, the buildings, everything. And right away we thought a truck had finally hit one of our buildings. And we all came running out, and as soon as we realized there was a situation, we called 911 and
Call 911, and again, no one's hurt, but crews are out here. They are working to get this building taken down, and they're going to be demolishing this tomorrow. At one point, there was some sort of natural gas leak, but they quickly shut off the natural gas, so no damage there as well. Nelson, Marissa, back to you.
Thanks, Nancy. We did see some Sky 7 pictures earlier at 5 o'clock. They were also quite amazing.
This is KOAT 7, Albuquerque. Now, bringing you coverage you can count on. This is Action 7 News.
well, we were sitting at our desk doing our business, daily business, and the whole place shook. The ground, the buildings, everything.
And then the building came down. Good evening. I'm Diane Anderson.
And I'm Nelson Martinez. Tonight's big story is a bump from a forklift, and then the sky falls. The roof and walls came down at Garrity Insulation on the 3100 block of 4th Street. That's where our Nancy Laughlin is with our live update. Nancy.
From the sky and ground. The destruction, amazing.
Just hear a big clap, a lot of noise, like something big fell off.
In a matter of minutes, a building that stood for years collapsed.
Very scary. Very scary.
Firefighters and the building's owner tell Action 7 News an employee was behind the wheel of heavy machinery when he lost control.
Right now, everything's pointing to a forklift possibly having hit a main supporting beam in the building, and for one reason or another, it seems to have collapsed the entire building.
The 3 employees who were inside all managed to get out.
He could hear the roof start to come down, and he got out of there, and everybody's out of there, no one's hurt.
And firefighters say with all this mess and no injuries, that too is amazing. So now crews work to clean up this mess and disassemble the building. They hope to have it demolished Wednesday morning. hope you guys can hear me now. Let me explain what was going on here. They said that this facility stores insulation. It's a kind of insulation you put in your home. There were steel beams that this roof was made out of, and firefighters say it is an absolute miracle that when this thing went down that no one was injured. Nelson and Diane, back to you.
That's the bottom line. No one was injured.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nancy. Well, damages from that collapsed building are estimated tonight at about $250,000.
Covering Albuquerque and all of New Mexico. You're watching KRQE News 13 first at 4:30 on your side.
There are major new developments in the Wen-Ho Lee case at this hour. We are now learning what happened behind closed doors to threaten the deal to release Lee.
KRQE's Darren White has obtained exclusive details, but he's putting the story together and he'll join us in just a few minutes. But first, the roof over an enormous storage building has caved in.
Yeah, it came tumbling down about 90 minutes ago at 4th and Manal. Now, the building was loaded with insulation and stuff being stored in the building at the time. The roof began to collapse when an employee hit a steel beam, we understand, with a forklift. Now, the owner says they could hear something was wrong right away.
My employee hit it with a forklift, the main beam, and he ran out, and I ran up to see what was going on. I heard the roof going crack, 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 and I told everybody hit the road, and we ran and came down.
Now, fortunately, no one was hurt during this roof collapse. Albuquerque Fire Department arrived on the scene to investigate this accident.